Our mother works for us throughout the day, but we are least bothered by her working. She takes care of each and every family member. But do we take care of her? And when in a family, no one cares about our mother and even doesn't bother her at all. How can she make realize the family members about her own existence? Let's see from the play Mother's Day that how the mother in the family deals with the members of family who don't pay attention to her.
In the first scene, we can see Mrs. Fitzgerald and Mrs. Pearson are having a conversation, and it seems to be a serious one. Let's take a look.
Mrs. Pearson, how you make your importance felt in the house is up to you. Try what I am telling you to do. It could be a good fortune or it could be a bad one. It all depends on you now. So make up your mind and there it is.
Yes, thank you, Mrs. Fitzgerald.
Listen to me, Mrs. Pearson. Put your foot down once and for all and be the mistress of your own house and the boss of your family.
That's easier said than done. Besides, I'm so fond of them whether they are so thoughtless and selfish. But I just can't blame them. They don't mean to be.
Maybe not, but it would be better for them if they learn to treat you properly.
I suppose it would be.
You ran after them all the time, taking their orders as if you were a servant in the house. Staying at home every night while they go out and enjoying themselves. Husbands, sons, and daughters should be taking notice of wives and mothers, not giving him orders and treating him like dirt.
I suppose it is. Oh, good gracious, look at the time. They would be home any time and I must be in a hurry to go out. I must get everything ready for them.
Let him wait or look after themselves. This is where your foot goes down. Start now.
Mrs. Fitzgerald, I understand what you're trying to do and trying to say, but I just can't. I can't blame them. They don't mean to treat me like that, but I just can't blame them.
Then let me do this.
No, Mrs. Fitzgerald. They won't accept it. They would resent it at first. You can't do it for me. I'm so sorry.
Let me show you. To you, dear. Give me your hands. Keep quiet for a while. Don't think anything. Now look at me. Asharadam. 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 Lambona.
Look what I mean, dear.
Oh, it's happened.
Oh, of course it's happened. And very neat. They know I had it in me.
But Mrs. Fitzgerald, George and children can't see me like this.
Oh, they aren't going to see you like that. They'll have me to deal with.
But what if we can't change back? It would be terrible.
Don't worry about that. I can do it anytime you want.
But what am I going to do now?
Just go to my house and enjoy the television. What else?
Mrs. Fitzgerald, with her magical trick of changing soul, enters into the personality of Mrs. Pearson. They changes into each other's personality.
Mrs. Fitzgerald have exit the room. Now enters the Doris. She seems very angry and very confused. Let's see what's going to happen.
Mom, you will have to iron my innocent. I must wear it tonight. Mother, what are you doing?
What do you think I'm doing? Whitewashing the ceiling?
But you are reading fashion magazines this time?
That's right, dear. No law against it.
Are we having tea in the kitchen?
Have it where you like.
Do you mean it isn't ready?
Yours isn't. I've had all I want.
What happened to you?
Doris exits the room while getting very angry. Now enters the Cyril. He is the son of Mrs. Pearson. Let's see what happens.
Hello, Mom. Tea ready?
No,
Why not?
I couldn't bother.
Mom, feeling off color or something?
Never felt better in my life.
What's the idea then?
Just a change.
Snap out of it, Mom. I haven't too much of time.
I have plenty of time.
Oh, what's going on? I didn't get this, Mom.
Changes. This drink soothes me.
You look terrible. If I do look terrible, it's your fault. You made me cry. Oof.
Why? What did you do?
Never you mind. Has she been like that with you too?
Yes, no tea is ready. She couldn't care less.
Well, I am glad it's both of us. I thought I had done something wrong.
So did I? It's her, of course.
Well, she's suddenly all so different.
Let's try talk to her.
Yeah.
Doris and Cyril both get disappointed by looking at the changed behavior of her mother.
Mom, what makes you talk like this?
What have we done?
Nothing. But come and ask for something and then go out back when there's nowhere else to go.
Look.
I just don't like it.
Look, I have been working all day.
Same here.
8 hours a day?
Yes, 8 hours a day, and don't forget it.
Well, I have completed my 8 hours.
That's different, Mom.
It was. Now it isn't.
I think I must grab something to eat to keep my strength up.
Mommy, don't mean that you are not going to do any work on Saturday and Sunday?
Oh, I won't go that far. I might make a bed or two and do some cooking as favor and might go off for a weekend.
Go off for a weekend?
Why not? Why can't I do with changes?
Did you fall down or hit yourself with something?
Doris and Cyril leaves the room while getting very angry. Now enters the owner of the house, Mr. George Pearson. Let's see what's going to happen.
Hello, what's this? Can't be anything to cry about.
You will see.
Having a drink
Yes.
at this time of the day?
What's wrong with that this time of the day?
I don't like it. I'm surprised at you.
Better you learn surprises from mommy.
I don't like surprises. Besides, I forgot to tell you that we friends are meeting at the club tonight. So no tea.
Well, there isn't any.
But suppose if I wanted some?
Oh, good gracious. Look at the man, annoyed, because I didn't got him the tea ready, which he doesn't even want. Ever tried that at that club? They would laugh at you even harder than they do now.
Laugh at me. They don't laugh at me.
Oh, of course they do. They call you Pompey Pompey Pearson because you're so slow and pompous.
Never.
Oh,
Dear Cyril, you've been with me to the club once or twice. They don't laugh at me or call me Pompey Pompey Pearson.
Well, yes, Dad. I'm afraid they do. Mom, you told him that, Mom. That's not fair. You have hurt his feelings and mine too.
sometimes it's better for the people to hurt their feelings. If your father don't go that often to that club, they would probably stop laughing at him.
I doubt it. Might be for me. I will see. Silly old bag from the next door, Miss Fitzgerald. You don't want her here, do you?
Certainly I do. Ask her in and don't call her an old silly bag. She has a lot more sense than you will ever have.
Mrs. Fitzgerald, being there with family members in the personality of Mrs. Pearson, has already surprised Doris, Cyril, and Mr. Pearson. After some times, Mrs. Pearson, in the personality of Mrs. Fitzgerald, enters the room. She is curious to know and worried how has Mrs. Fitzgerald deal with them.
Come in, Mrs. Fitzgerald.
Oh dear, what's happening?
Oh, putting them in their places, what you would have done a lot earlier.
Is George home?
Oh, yeah, he is. Please have a seat. I just told him what they call him at the club.
Oh dear, I wish you hadn't.
Just looked in for a minute, I suppose, with Fitzgerald.
Well, yes, I suppose so, George.
George?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Why does that matter? Your name is George, isn't it? Why don't you go to that club? Special night tonight, isn't it? They must be waiting for you to make fun of yours.
Yeah, I understand. Making my fun in front of her now. Poor Doris has been crying her eyes out upstairs and you're calling the neighbors to see the fun?
Listen to me, George Pearson. If you talk to me like that again, I'll slap your fat face.
I'm sorry.
Hello, Doris dear.
Hello, Mrs. Fitzgerald.
I thought you were preparing for the Christmas party.
What's that to do with you?
Listen to me, Doris. I won't ever have my daughter to talk to somebody like that. Now reply to Mrs. Fitzgerald nicely.
No, it's alright.
No, it isn't.
Don't look at me. I give it up. I just give it up.
Now that's enough. Listen, you two. I want to have a private little talk with with Mrs. Pearson.
Good thing you can talk to her because I can't. Come on.
Now, as Mrs. Pearson is very worried, she wanted to come back into her personality. So, she requested Mrs. Fitzgerald to change back.
Mrs. Fitzgerald, we must change back now.
Okay, if you insist.
Yes, I do. Please, please.
Give me your hand. Look at me now. Asharata dum. Asharata dum. Asharata lum dum sona.
Now listen, Mrs. Pearson. Don't go soft on them again, or else it would all be wasted.
Oh, Mrs. Fitzgerald, I definitely try to.
Well, what is it you would like him to do that they don't do? Stop at home for once?
Well, I really like a nice game of rummy. I hardly get to play it, only at Christmas.
But remember, keep firm and just off to let you enjoy yourself.
Okay, I bother.
After changing their soul, Mrs. Fitzgerald exits the room and now the three enter the room. Let's see what's going to happen.
Now, let me call them. Hey, you can come in now.
Yes, mother. Seeing that you don't want to go out, I tell you what I thought we would do. No objections, I hope.
No, mother, whatever you say.
So I thought we will have a nice family game of rummy. Then you children can get the supper ready and I can have a nice talk with your father.
Suits me. What about you two?
Yes, that's alright.
Oh, I think it would be lovely.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Fitzgerald. Come back soon.
Thank you, Mrs. Pearson. Good night, I hope you have a nice time.
Our mother does a lots of things for us. So it's our moral duty to help her at some household chores so that she can also enjoy her life. Thank you.
Thank you.